What's up, Cowboys Nation? Today I've got some major news to share with you today. The Dallas Cowboys have just made an incredibly significant move, and it's one that could have a lasting impact on the team's future. You've probably heard by now, but just in case you haven't, the Cowboys have hired Nick Sorensen as their new special teams coordinator. Yep, you heard that right. Sorensen, the former NFL player turned coach, is stepping in to take over one of the most important and often overlooked aspects of the game's special teams. Now, this might seem like a smaller change in the grand scheme of things, but let me tell you, it could prove to be one of the most crucial moves the Cowboys make this offseason. Special teams can win games, and Sorensen has the potential to take this unit from decent to elite. Let's take a moment to break this down, because when you really start to look at it, the hire makes all the sense in the world. But first, you're probably wondering, who exactly is Nick Sorensen? Well, he's a guy who spent over a decade in the NFL as a safety, playing for teams like the Jacksonville Jaguars, the St. Louis Rams, and the Cleveland Browns. He's known for his versatility and his solid special teams contributions as a player, but it's his coaching resume that's really impressive. After hanging up his cleats, Sorensen transitioned into coaching, and over the years, he's gained a reputation as someone who can get the best out of his players, particularly in the special teams department. In his most recent role with the Cleveland Browns, Sorensen helped elevate their special teams units to new heights, and they ranked among the top 10 in the league during his tenure. Now, let's talk about why this hire is so significant for the Cowboys. Last season, the Cowboys' special teams play was, well, a bit of a roller coaster. We had moments where they looked absolutely solid, like when Brett Maher was nailing field goals early on, or when Tony Pollard provided some explosive returns. But we also saw some pretty major blunders. There were mistakes in coverage, missed opportunities, and just overall inconsistencies that left fans frustrated. Special teams is often the forgotten phase of the game, but when you really look at it, it's just as important as offense and defense, especially when it comes to the postseason. Field position matters, and when you have a kicker like Maher or returners like Pollard, you need to make sure that every part of that unit is firing on all cylinders. This is where Sorensen comes in. He's a coach who's known for being detail-oriented, disciplined, and incredibly strategic. One of his main strengths is his ability to bring out the best in his players in high-pressure situations, and that's exactly what you need in special teams. A missed field goal or a big return could flip the momentum of a game in an instant. Sorensen understands this better than most, and his ability to focus on the small details is exactly what the Cowboys need right now. The Cowboys have a roster full of talent, but special teams requires a whole different level of attention. You can't just throw talented players out there and hope it works. You need a coach who will craft a game plan that puts everyone in the right positions to succeed. Looking back at Sorensen's time with the Browns, we saw what he was able to do with their special teams. He worked tirelessly to improve both the kicking game and the return game, and under his leadership, the Browns were able to execute some pretty complex and aggressive plays. We saw how a well-timed onside kick or a fake punt could turn the tide in a game. Sorensen isn't afraid to take calculated risks on special teams, and that's something the Cowboys could definitely use. Imagine the kind of pressure he could put on opposing teams with a few surprise plays up his sleeve, especially in crucial moments. And I think that's what makes him such an exciting hire, his willingness to innovate while also maintaining the fundamental aspects of special teams play. Now, you can't talk about special teams without mentioning the players who make it all happen. Brett Maher, Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, these guys are all threats when it comes to special teams, but under the right coach, they could become even more dangerous. Maher already has one of the strongest legs in the NFL, and if Sorensen can give him the right environment and the proper kicking strategies, he could potentially turn into an even more consistent weapon for the Cowboys. Pollard, too, is an electric returner who can change the game with one well-executed play. Sorensen's coaching could give Pollard even more opportunities to take it to the house, and that's the kind of explosive play the Cowboys need to maximize. Let's not forget, special teams often ends up being the difference between a win and a loss, particularly in the playoffs. We saw that with the Cowboys last year. They made it to the postseason, but ultimately fell short. There were some moments where special teams plays either kept them in the game or cost them an opportunity. With Sorensen now at the helm, there's reason to believe that we'll see a major improvement in all areas from field goal accuracy to punt coverage to kick returns. If Sorensen can tighten up the execution and remove the mistakes that have plagued the Cowboys in the past, they could be looking at a completely different level of special teams play in 2025. As for the rest of the team, this hire sends a clear message: the Cowboys are serious about winning a Super Bowl. They've got the offensive firepower and a defense that's ready to compete with the best in the league, but special teams is often what separates the contenders from the pretenders. If Sorensen can come in and make an immediate impact, we could be looking at a much more well-rounded Cowboys team in 2025, one that's truly ready to make a deep playoff run. If he can help this team minimize mistakes, maximize big plays, and maintain field position, the Cowboys will be dangerous in all three phases of the game. So, what's next? Well, Sorensen has his work cut out for him. He's coming in during a time when the Cowboys are hungry for success and desperate to take that next step toward a Super Bowl. But I think he's the right person for the job. His experience, his focus on the little things, and his ability to get the best out of players in tough situations make him an excellent choice for the job. And with the talent that the Cowboys already have on special teams, I'm excited to see what kind of schemes he can implement to take this unit to new heights. What do you think, Cowboys Nation? Are you excited about the addition of Nick Sorensen as the new special teams coordinator? Do you think he'll be able to take this unit to the next level? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get a conversation going. As always, don't forget to hit that like button if you're as pumped about this move as I am. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we'll be covering all the latest Cowboys news, analysis, and updates as the season progresses. Thanks for tuning in today, and until next time, stay hyped, stay ready, and remember, it's always a great day to be a Cowboys fan.